up on Fulton today, what code enforcement is doing to stabilize neighborhoods in South Fulton. We'll take you there. And you're invited to the county's annual Crime Prevention Initiative. Fulton Today starts right now. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis. Fulton County's code enforcement takes action on a number of abandoned neighborhoods in South Fulton communities. Now, these overgrown structures are an eyesore and in some cases have even become a security threat. FGTV's Priscilla Ortega has our story.
Neighbors say these abandoned homes lowered their property values and caused public safety issues for years. But after county commissioners, code enforcement, and residents work together, now these homes are nothing but vacant lots. South Fulton residents finally see the results they've wanted for years.
Excited, elated, just thrilled.
I'm just very happy that we are where we are right now. It's very exciting.
After court orders and receiving grant funding, bulldozers knocked down the homes on Morning Creek Circle and Elva Drive. One of the homes was abandoned for years until it somehow caught fire.
Any property we attempt to sell or rent is going to be valued based on what's next door. And who would want to purchase or rent next to this?
The burnt rubble also brought unwanted visitors to the neighborhood.
We also had people come into the area searching for scrap metal. And then I think when you have something like this, it sends a very bad message. It means, well, maybe this is a community where the residents don't care.
But code enforcement worked out a plan that made everybody happy.
Demolition is at no cost to the taxpayers. We're using what we call CDBG, Community Development Block Grant funds to demolish these properties.
Now the residents have a message for others who may be in the same situation.
As residents, we need to take ownership of problems that we see in the community, and we need to work in collaboration with the county to take care of business.
Code enforcement is in the process of demolishing 7 to 10 more homes in the area. Now, if you have a concern you want code enforcement to look into, you can call 404-612-TELL. That's 404-612-8355. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Priscilla Ortega.
Thank you very much, Priscilla. Meanwhile, Fulton County's Registration and Elections Department prepares for the November municipal elections by swearing in new board members.
Do hereby solemnly swear.
Do hereby solemnly swear.
The Clerk of Superior Court delivered the oath to 4 reappointed board members, 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans.
Our board members have just been sworn in for new terms, which is a great thing because we are about to get ready for the 2016 presidential election cycle when we're going to have a lot of work to do.
The first order of business for the new board members was to certify results in the special election for House Districts 48 and 80 and special runoff for House Districts 55. The board also worked on the contract for Roswell to conduct their own elections in the November 3rd municipal vote. The county's registration and elections chief says the department is still working on getting an election management system. 10 new first responders are on the job in South Fulton. These firefighters have successfully completed 12 weeks of intensive training.
We've got 10 individuals that are committing their lives to intervening in the most extreme situations, saving someone's life, comforting them at the scene of an accident.
Training included building construction review and fire control.
My favorite part had to be burn week, getting the experience of fire and how the fire behavior is once you're in the building, fire rollover and flashovers and things of that nature.
It runs in the family, and so growing up, getting to stop on the side of the road and see all kinds of different people and helping others is something I've always wanted to do.
County officials joined family members and colleagues in congratulating these brave professionals who put their lives on the line to save others.
This means that we can continue to deliver the exceptional services to all of South Fulton. These firefighters now deliver service that can change lives, and we are really enamored with them getting into the fire stations and delivering that service.
The Fulton County Fire Department has 10 fire stations and more than 100 personnel. Children with a possible interest in law enforcement get a close-up look at what it takes to be a public safety officer. These students are taking part in the Sheriff's Office Junior Deputy Program.
Parade, press!
The week-long course covered everything from chanting the class motto, physical fitness drills, and leadership exercises on fairness and honesty. The course also exposed the students to criminal and constitutional law and shows them a side of law enforcement they don't normally get to see.
Sadly, most children these days, their first encounter with law enforcement is oftentimes in the schools or when they're being approached, questioned about something that happened in the neighborhood or at school or otherwise, or a traffic stop. Children, youth often don't get the opportunity to interact with police officers on an educational basis, you know, in an environment where they can know us as individuals, as people, as citizens, members of the community, and get to know us as who we really are and learn about what we do and why we do some of the things that we do.
It is that leadership building and training that is exactly what attracts the students to the program.
Yeah, I've learned multiple things. I've learned to stay in shape. I've learned to communicate with those who I don't know. And I've also learned to do stuff I don't want to do. Also, not because, you know, I don't want to do it, but because it helps me become a better person.
The program also included a tour of the county jail and a community service project. Representatives from the county's public safety agencies, along with community organizers, will all come together next week for the 2015 National Night Out. Now, National Night Out is the county and country's annual crime and safety gathering. Detective Melissa Parker is with the Fulton County Police Department, and she's here now with a preview. Welcome back to Fulton today.
Hi, Shania. Thanks for having me.
Well, first things first, let's tell everybody about National Night Out and how it all got started.
Well, it's a community and police awareness raising event that first took place in 1984. The event takes place every August, the first Tuesday of every August. Fulton County Police has been participating in it for over 10 years now.
And I mentioned both public safety agencies and community organizations come together for this event. Talk about the importance of that partnership.
Well, we want everyone to be involved in National Night Out. Most people are involved in at least one or more community groups or organizations, whether it be a school or sports organization or even a neighborhood watch program. So if multiple organizations participate, we should be able to reach the majority of our community. And that's our goal, is to try to get the majority of our community to come out and participate in National Night Out.
And citizen involvement is key to National Night Out.
Well, it takes an entire community as a whole to not only solve minor problems in the community, but to bring great ideas to the table, to make a better community, a better place to live and to work. This also is a great place to network, to meet new friends, meet neighbors, and even meet your business owners. It's a great place to find out what else your community and your local businesses, as well as your police department, have to offer. Some things that you might not be familiar with otherwise.
And what about special guests for this year's event?
Well, comedian MC Lightfoot will be hosting this year's event. Keller Williams will be sponsoring it, Global Franchise Group, Women of Aviation. The Cool Bus will be there. Kids love that. If they don't know what that is, it's a 40-foot bus that's filled with video games. Also, Fulton County Police will be there with various equipment that we can show the citizens. But there are way too many businesses and corporate sponsors to name right now, but there will be a lot of participants at this year's event.
And finally, Detective, what would you like residents to know about National Night Out if they've never experienced this initiative?
Well, we do have a diverse community, and we're hoping for a great turnout. And again, this will be a great networking opportunity, a great opportunity to meet your neighbors, and meet other community members and your businesses, and again to meet different members of the police department, and for us to be familiar with the community.
Fulton County Police Detective Melissa Parker, always great information. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Now again, National Night Out is August 4th at the Megaplex on Old National Highway. And when we come back, the Back to School Block Party to get kids ready for class. It's a part of our district by district coverage next. A group of young leaders get inspired by the county's top leader, and dozens of children get the supplies they need during a back-to-school blast. Here's this week's District by District coverage. We begin with Chairman John Eves as he addresses the 2015 class of Mandela Washington Fellows. The at-large commissioner gave the keynote address to the group, who recently visited Atlanta. The Mandela Washington Fellowship for Young African Leaders is the flagship program of President Obama's Young African Leaders Initiative. The program provides 500 outstanding young leaders from Africa with the opportunity to hone their skills at a U.S. higher education institution.
These are perhaps the future heads of states of African country governments, and so the emerging leaders, a very competitive process. I had a chance to meet with them last year, very dynamic, engaged group, and I don't have anything to think differently today. And so it's just a great group of folks who maybe in the future will be dialoguing with elected officials and political leaders here in Fulton County.
The fellows, who are between the ages of 25 and 35, have established records of accomplishment in promoting innovation and positive change in their organizations, institutions, communities, and countries. In District 4, residents enjoy this year's Year of the Boulevard Back to School community event. Commissioner Joan Garner's office, along with county staff, joined City of Atlanta's leaders to host this year's party. Garner has partnered with Atlanta Councilman Kwanzaa Hall for the outreach initiative since its inception.
Yes, this is another Yo Boulevard. 4 years in the making. We're so thankful to the wonderful partnership that we have struck with Fulton County Commissioner Joan Garner.
I think events like this are important to the community because, one, it's supporting the community. It helps the children in need. They need things to go back to school with, so we help put things in their book bags to go back to school with.
The event helps families in the Old Fourth Ward area prepare for the school year. Several Fulton County departments were on site to serve the community. For more information about the annual event, you can visit yoboulevard.com. District 5 Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr. sits down with his constituents to hear their concerns. The commissioner met with a group at the recently renovated South Fulton Tennis Center. Residents had an opportunity to express themselves about a myriad of issues in their community.
We're excited about this group, and this group fills a gap because we also host quarterly town hall sessions in the 3 different sections of District 5. But this group serves as a more close-knit working group that will be able to work directly with Fulton County departments through my office in order to be able to make sure that their communities are getting the services from Fulton County.
Commissioner Arrington has hosted over a half-dozen community meetings since becoming an elected official in January. To see a full calendar of his meetings, go to FultonCommission5.com. And finally, in District 6, seniors at the New Beginning Senior Center do their part to help people in Haiti receive health care. The center's participants hosted their annual fish fry to raise funds for a mission trip. This is the 3rd year the seniors have hosted the event.
I want to say thank you to the New Beginnings family for the wonderful community event that was held to honor and to support the mission in Haiti. I have said many times that New Beginnings Senior Center is one of the most beautiful buildings in Fulton County. But there is only one thing that is even more beautiful than the building, and that is the big hearts of the people who attend there.
Seniors have helped to raise hundreds of dollars for the mission trip to Haiti. Now, Haiti is a Caribbean country in North America. Since the 2010 earthquake, the country has been slowly recovering with the help of public and private donors. And still to come, it's back to school vaccination time. We'll have all of the details when we come back. Well, the school bell is about to ring, and that means students need to make sure that those vaccinations are up to date. Georgia Gosier is the Fulton County Immunization Coordinator, and she's here to tell us everything that the parents need to know. Hey, Georgia, welcome back to Fulton today.
Thank you, Shania, for having me.
All right, so first things first, what do parents need to know about the immunizations?
Well, parents usually ask either their health care provider or their pediatrician, the health department, about what immunizations their children will need prior to entering school for the next year. And that information is usually provided to them, sometimes through their own schools. When a child's immunization certificate is about to expire or has expired, the school's nurses, counselors, or data clerks will inform the parents well in advance that the immunization certificate needs to be renewed.
And Georgia, can you tell parents about maybe some other health concerns that they need to be concerned about before the school session starts?
Parents usually like to know if there's anything that their child will need prior to coming into school so that their entrance will be smooth. One thing that they do ask that the health departments require and the schools require are eye, ear, dental, and BMI assessments done on a child when they're entering the school for the first time.
And what is the process for getting vaccines at county health centers?
In Fulton County, we require that the parent comes with identification and the child's identification, because sometimes parents' names and children's names don't match. So we like to have that information. Other things that they ask for is proof of income, especially if a parent is asking for reduced payments. Another thing is proof of insurance. We do like to have that information as well.
And Georgia, your final comments.
There is one thing that the state of Georgia is requiring of 7th graders that started last year, but you must have proof of a Tdap or meningitis vaccine. If that is not provided, then we will provide those vaccines to give a 7th grader entering 7th grade for the first time their certificates of immunizations.
Immunization Coordinator Georgia Gosier, always great information and always great to see you.
And thank you for having me.
Now, for more information about getting your children immunized, you can call 404-612-1211. Fulton's insurance provider finds a way to help employees visit with a doctor without taking any time away from work. The Employee Wellness Committee held a ribbon-cutting ceremony for Live Health Online. It's a kiosk where employees can video chat with a board-certified doctor just steps away from their desk. The kiosk is set up at the Government Center downtown. Employees don't have to take a day off of work or set up an appointment to visit the doctor.
That's right. This is our initial launch, and we put this where we felt like the most employees would be able to benefit the most immediately. But we also have in storage and ready for use another unit identical to this one that we'd like to use over in the court building. And we will be using other smaller versions of this technology as well as some of the outlying county facilities for those employees there.
Doctors can give medical advice and even give a prescription via video chat if needed. Blue Cross Blue Shield is working with Fulton to keep its workforce healthy. County officials believe the less it can spend on employee health benefits, the more it can allocate to services for residents. Agents with the Cooperative Extension Service are offering tips to help people get out of debt and to help them raise their credit scores. While credit can help you pay for big items over time, extension agents recommend you apply for credit only when necessary and avoid using high-cost lenders. Interest rates vary from lender to lender, so they suggest people shop around and check back with their credit provider to see if they will lower your interest rate.
The higher the interest rates, the more you pay. So if you have a lower interest rate with your credit cards or whatever it is that you're buying, please take a look at that, because you can save some money if you can get a lower interest rate.
Credit dangers you should avoid include making only the minimum payment, carrying a balance on credit cards, and relying on creditors to set your credit limit.
Good credit is very important. If you're trying to buy a house or buy a car or to get a credit card, those interest rates are what's going to determine the cost of what it is you pay. So interest rates could tack on lots of money or just a little bit of money depending on your credit.
To learn more about the services provided by Cooperative Extension, call their office at 404-332-2400. And when we come back, a look at the summer success at the Wolf Creek Amphitheater. Stay with us. The arts and culture team and community celebrates with art vendors who now can officially do business with the county. Dozens of arts vendors gathered at the Government Center downtown to officially sign their contracts for services. Fulton commissioners recently allocated $1.5 million to 94 groups who provide art services. The organizations teach dance, music, theater arts, visual arts, and media arts.
Fulton County pays homage to all of the service providers, the nonprofit organizations that provide Fulton County citizens with an opportunity to experience and have access to the arts.
It just means more opportunities for our kids, more resources for us to keep providing the great programming that we provide for our young kids and teenagers.
To see the full list of the vendors and their service offerings, you can visit fultonarts.org. And finally, the Wolf Creek Amphitheater is selling out one concert after another this season. From jazz, blues, reggae, and R&B, there have been a number of musical acts that have hit the stage this season. So far, about 80,000 people have attended. 14 concerts were sold out, including the Evening Under the Stars event featuring Fantasia, Music Soul Child, and Drew Hill.
Love it. Keep the concerts coming. Get more names, more concerts. Love it. Keep the prices where they are.
Concert goers can park for free and bring a cooler with food and drinks as long as it is 38 quarts or smaller. There are 21 concerts slated for the season. For more information, you can visit wolfcreekamphitheater.com. And before we go, our reminder that we'd like to connect with you online. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and of course, anytime on our YouTube channel. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis. Thank you for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.